of sexual harassment. The Director General of the Energy and Resources Institute, accused of sexually harassing a 29-year-old colleague, is currently fighting a sexual harassment case in court. A Delhi court had allowed him to enter All-Teri premises except the headquarters where the Director General's office is located. Dr. Ajay Mathur replaces RK Pachuari as Teri Chief. Dr. Ajay Mathur is currently Director General of the Bureau of Energy Efficiency. All right, so finally this decision has been taken by Teri after much uproar from the general public as well, because RK Pachuari was allowed to return to work, which was making the victim herself rather uncomfortable. There were others as well who had claimed that the situation is not proper for RK Pachuari to continue as the head of Teri. Teri had to finally take a call after the Delhi police apparently submitted an interim report that had said that he is not cooperating in the investigations. Indira Jai Singh is joining us on the phone line. Ma'am, do you think that this decision of Teri is belated, but at least some decision has finally been taken to remove RK Pachuari?
I agree, it is belated, and I also am pleased about the fact that he has been removed. I do believe that this decision should have come on the day that she made her complaint. And my reason for saying so is because the Governing Council has the power to suspend him pending an inquiry, and he went on leave. I don't understand why he was allowed to go on leave and why he was not suspended pending an inquiry. It's quite routine when such serious allegations are made to suspend pending an inquiry. Had they done it, this situation would not have arisen, where he comes back and sits on his desk and starts performing his duties.
Ma'am, do you think that even though RK Pachuari has been removed, now Teri failed in its responsibility of upholding the faith of a female employee, because this decision has come only after the Delhi police apparently shared an interim report that said that RK Pachuari is not cooperating in investigations and can influence witnesses, whereas Teri's own internal report had also held him guilty of misusing his position?
Not only do I think that they have failed the lady, but they have failed the nation. Please don't forget that these are very eminent industrialists and honchos of the corporate world.
Yes.
Men and women both. And it was their duty to set an example of how corporate India is supposed to run. It is no excuse to say that Teri is an NGO and not a corporation. How does that matter? Whether it's an NGO or a corporation, what is the duty of the managing board? They have failed in that duty. And they have not exhibited any sense of morality or ethics in how a business organization should be run. What is the duty of the organization? I think they completely identified with Mr. Pachauri and failed to understand that there is a difference between the organization and the Director General. They have failed to understand the law laid down by the Supreme Court in the Vishakha case, which says very clearly that the organization has the duty to assist the woman in the conduct of her legal proceedings. What happened to that duty?
And ma'am, there are reports that the victim was under stress once RK Pachuari joined back. Now, do you think that, as you have already mentioned, it's setting a bad example, but do you think that it is situations like these that actually stop other women from coming out in the open and talking about sexual harassment at workplace?
Oh, there's no doubt about that, but you must understand that she was under stress. Not from the day he came back, she was under stress from the day she filed that complaint. And I think the board owes her a duty of reparation. They owe her a duty to restore her honor, her dignity, to make sure that she's properly allowed to work where she was working with the same job profile.
Ma'am, there's also information that has come in that there have been others now who have spoken out against RK Pachuari, if I'm understanding it correctly, within Teri. Do you think that it is time that Teri takes cognizance of all those complaints as well?
Yes, I think they owe the whole country a report. a report on the internal functioning of the organization, it is very obvious that there has been a hostile working environment in Teri for quite some time now. And I don't know what justice they can do to the women who left because of the harassment, but the least they can do is publish a report acknowledging their failures.
Also, ma'am, I'd like your comments on the fact that, you know, the court also provided some sort of relief to RK Pachuari, allowing him to enter Teri premises apart from the headquarters and the Gurgaon office where the victim was working. But do you think that this is some sort, I mean, the court perhaps believed that that relief should have come to RK Pachuari, but do you think that also doesn't set the right precedence?
Well, you know, I do not wish to discuss what the court did and did not do,
yes,
because that would detract from the responsibility of the board of Teri.
That's right.
I am telling you, if the board had done its duty, there would be no question of the court giving any direction. The court was only concerned with the investigative process. But the court should have taken notice of the fact that Delhi police were opposing his bail. They were also opposing his being restored back to his proper place of work.
Indra Jaisingh, many thanks for speaking with India Today and putting that entire case into perspective for us. Clearly, eminent lawyers do feel that Teri has let down the victim and many others perhaps, and that it is time for them and they owe perhaps some sort of an apology. Also, that they must repatriate at least this present victim who has had the courage to come out and complain. Let's move on.